It seems like they're really kind of cozy, comfortable
They
people.
are. They're
Yeah.
very cozy. And in fact, the reason they want this house is because Rebecca imagined how cozy it could be. All right, I know you guys haven't met Matt and Rebecca Kohler, but they're gonna be new in town and they've lived everywhere. And the house that they're buying is very boring. The thing this house is lacking most of all is quality finishes are just not there. The thing I'm excited to do with this house is take what's really good about it and make the whole exterior of the house just have a personality. And I think that we can take some cues from this wrought iron and these full-length shutters that feel a little bit New Orleans. I just think this house feels a little bit like New Orleans Creole architecture.
A little Charleston, a
A
little
little
low country.
Charleston, yeah. How do we take a little inspiration from that and apply it to this house and give it flavor? I'm excited about the possibility of taking what we do to the exterior and bringing that into the rest of the house. In every room, find a way to have these little bits of old world charm that feel a little more New Orleans inspired the way the exterior does. The whole house has a fresh coat of khaki paint, and then the shutters are kind of a darker khaki. I think if we bring in this warmth with some red on the shutters and then replace the front door.
We could go with kind of like a more fruit woody stain on the door, and then maybe if we can do something with the lighting.
Something that feels a little New Orleans-y.
Well, and I think adding some color to the shutters, it's going to give it a little bit of contrast, which will help warm it up a little bit too.
And these shutters on the front of the house are solid wood, so they can be functioning shutters. So I want to get shutter dogs, real hardware, reposition the shutters so they're where you would actually place
Be able
them
to open and close.
for use.
Right.
This is going to be super charming. Now, how do we weave that into the rest of the house? That's the question. The living room feels newer than the rest of the house, but it has no style. And it does have built-ins, which is great. We've got that going for us. So I think replacing the doors on the built-ins, that'll help. But the fireplace, it's like the reason they bought the house. How do we make it feel less blah?
I think we need to add some of our vintage finds into the mix, and that would be a perfect place to add a detail.
It's going to help bring some warmth to it and just make it feel like a cozier house.
I want to bring warmth into the kitchen with wood. If we have an island that feels somewhere in this world with this tile, I kind of love that. I want to do this tile for the backsplash and not running bind, but just stacked on the grid. And I want to pack them as close as we can with as little grout as possible.
It's like a micro grout.
Yes.
I actually really like a micro grout because it stays cleaner longer.
I'm excited to talk about the floor in the kitchen because we've got some options. So what do you think?
I think more of a slate style tile will give it that kind of New Orleans carriage house feel.
I think slate is the way. They've got this back sunroom that's obviously an addition, and it feels like an addition. And I want to make this the coolest part of the house. And I really, really, really want to go with those steel doors that are all glass, and they just open up the entire wall.
Yeah, I love that. That would make it more of a sunroom, add a little greenery to it, you know?
It's very California.
I love these opportunities to bring in some heft and depth.
A little bit of black kind of draws your eye through a space.
This feels like all the right touches for this house. I want Matt and Rebecca to feel like they have a home, like they have a place where they're familiar and loved. It takes the story and the history of older objects to make a house feel lived in on day one. The little bits of wrought iron are the real character and the storyteller in this house. We implement it in other things that we bring into the house, like the lighting, like the flooring, like the steel doors on the back of the house. It's silly, but just painting the shutters this spicy red color, it's a small change that makes a huge difference, and I'm excited about these doors on the back porch that are just gonna open up the whole wall of the sunroom. They're moving to a place they've never lived before, and so this has to be that comforting place for them.